So today I'm going to talk about. So if you're looking at relocating to the Philippines or Thailand or Mexico, wherever you're going. You know, one thing a good friend of mine and I told me this a long time ago, and I kind of, it's one of those things that I always kind of live by it actually now, you know. So anyway, that thing is the benefit versus the BS factor, you know, and yeah, so the first thing, you know, is I want to say, you know, these are all my personal opinions. You know, I'm not giving advice. I'm just telling you what I think. So one of those items is going to be, you know, to focus on the big things in life and let the little things go. It'll make your life a lot easier, really. You know, and it's really it just makes sense, you know, because if you dwell over the small little things, you know, that really don't matter. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you go into a coffee shop or something, and maybe they charged you 25 cents too much. Now, there are some people that will go back in there and argue over this 25 cents, and their idea is like it's the principle of it, you know. It's a principle, and they're going to sit there and complain about the 25 cents that they were overcharged. And in my eyes, you know, let that thing go. You know, I mean, just it's nothing probably to you. And whether it's a principle or not, you know, if you're spending an hour, you know, arguing over 25 cents, when you could be making $50 or $70 an hour, you know, whatever the amount is, then it would make sense to not be making a big deal over the you know, the little things. So anyway, yeah, focus on the big things in life and not the little things that don't matter. One of those things I think would be that's a big thing is your personal income. You know, if your income's a little bit higher, then it's going to make your life easier. Now, is it going to make you happy? Probably not. You know, money doesn't make people happy. It only makes their lives easier. The next item on that list is going to be health. Man, you know, you can go buy a new car, you can buy whatever you want if you've got the money, but you can't buy your health. So it's super important as you get close to retirement age to maybe change your habits. You know, if you smoke too much, if you drink too much, if you don't exercise, you know, whatever your vice is, if you can, you know, get rid of those vices or at least cut them way back, you know, improve your health, you know, so that you are able to relocate somewhere without worrying as much about the medical. So it's definitely something to, you know, that should be on your mind. if your health is not in good, if you don't have good health, then you need to relocate. If you're going to relocate, go somewhere where the medical is good, where you know that you'll be able to get good medical care, and make sure you've got enough money to pay for it. So I know that in the Philippines, I've mentioned this on other videos, there is no safety net. So if you get deathly ill, you need to have the cash to pay the hospital bill, or they may not see you. And in fact, it's not that they may not, they probably won't. So unless you have insurance. So a lot of the hospitals, they want payment up front. They will even send you out to get the different items that they need for a surgery ahead of time, and then you take that back to the doctor, and after that, that's when they perform the surgery or whatever it is that you're having done. Okay, so that's the next big item there, health. Make sure you've got that stuff covered. I've seen guys over here that are homeless, and if you're homeless and you have a medical condition, it could end your life. So something to really consider. Make sure if you've got a health condition, go somewhere where there's a really good hospital that's close by, and make sure you've got some cash or credit cards, I guess. Yeah. Okay. The next item on here is going to be, your mental health. Most people, when you go to retire, you want your life to be easier. That's probably one of the main reasons you're looking at leaving the country you're in. The cost of living, man, that can really stress people out. I know it does me. So if you can go somewhere that costs about a third of what you're used to paying, wow, what a stress relief that is. It really can make a huge difference. And then your relationships, whether you're married or you just have a companion, or whatever your situation is, you only live once. So if you're with somebody and they're just bringing you down all the time, and you're just in a dead-end relation. These are my thoughts. Other people think differently. Most people probably do. But if you're in a marriage or relationship and you're totally unhappy and you're miserable, then I say move on. You only live once. So you need to have your mental health. You need to be able to relax. Don't have somebody just driving you nuts all the time. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons you're looking to probably to retire and looking to relocate to maybe a different country. And another item I just wanted to mention here is, don't assume that the country that you're living in is the best country in the world. Until you actually get out and travel and see some different places and stay there, for a month or so, then if you go to several different places and you still think, oh gosh, man, my country is just the best in the world and there's nothing better, then great. At least you explored other places, and if that's the way you feel, then just stay there. And if you're struggling with your bills, well, then the only person you can blame is yourself. So get out and explore the world, while you can. Don't wait till you're 75 to do it, because then your quality of life may not even allow you to get out and explore things. So I can't stress that one enough, Get out and check places out. And I'm sure you'll be glad you did. You'll think, man, why didn't I do this when I was like 40 years old instead? The next item on here is, don't be afraid to get out there and explore new places, and new opportunities. Now, one of the things that I see over here in the Philippines, for instance, is opportunities, In California, for instance, if you wanted to have I'm going to give you an example. In Modesto, California, there was a yogurt shop, that somebody was going to open. And it was on one of the major streets there. And the rent on that, and this is going back quite a few years. I don't know what the rents are now, but at the time, that commercial space, and this is just not that big of a place, the rent on the building was $5,000 per month. And, then you've got your employees, you've got all these different costs, you've got, the yogurt machine, just all that stuff. Anyway, when you have rent in a business at $5,000 per month, and then you've got wages to pay, and now those wages would be, I think, about $17 an hour or so. That adds up to a lot of money. Most people will not even attempt to have, a business like that, because you're probably going to be putting out $50,000 or so just to get started. And then you've only got, maybe a 50% success rate, for most restaurants. The amount of money you're putting out there at risk is it's a lot, and so whereas in the Philippines, maybe you can get a place, commercial spot if somebody wanted to, maybe the rent's $500 or $700 per month. And, then the wages are so much less. You might be talking $1 or $2 an hour. Well, your survival rate, as far as a business goes, I believe it's quite a bit more, So these are a real opportunity, I think. Now, other people would say, "Oh my God, that's a crazy idea. I would never do that." Well, to each their own, So, but I don't know. For me, I've always enjoyed kind of working for myself as much as I can, and just make up your own mind, make your own decisions, and don't allow other people to stop you from doing what you think is right. Because a lot of times those people just don't want to see you get ahead. They want to keep you down at their level. And so, it's something definitely to consider. And don't let others hold you back, just because it's out of the norm. And, the last thing that I wanted to talk about here is surround yourself with positive and uplifting people. if you're hanging out with the people that always whine and cry and complain, that they're not getting, like things accomplished, or, life's dealt them a bad hand, that kind of thing, gosh, hang around with the positive people that are going to have a good influence on you and that are going to be supportive with whatever it is you're trying to achieve in life. Don't let your family and friends hold you back. If you want to travel, if you want to move to a different country, and if it's going to be easier on you, then go ahead and do it. Do what you want to do. Don't let people hold you back. Anyway, there's an old saying, decide, commit, succeed. Don't let your family and friends hold you back, and do what's best for you. You only live once, so make the very best of it. All right, well, thank you for listening, and have a good day or evening wherever you are. Right now I'm in Cebu, Philippines still. All right, thanks. Bye.